Welcome back, strangers. Today we're going to be hanging out, and discussing a few creepy, unexplained disappearances. Hope you guys are doing well. My name is Blake. I'm one of the voices of the Strangest. Nice to see you guys.
From Ethan, and I'm excited for this topic because it just was our highest rated topic ever. I didn't expect it. I just put this one on there, and it was in one of the cases that inspired this topic's in here. I was just reading on Reddit, found it. I'm like, that could make a cool live stream, and so you guys voted for it. I really thought the two sentence horror stories. I thought that was the one to get picked.
Yeah, because
So
when I first looked on there, it was winning by quite a bit. And then I looked back and it was just like, it hadn't gotten a single vote since the last time I looked at it. Like, Unexplained Disappearances just took off. But
yeah, it was just overwhelming.
we're
Have
always
you watched?
down to talk about whatever.
Yeah, have you watched the two sentence horror story TV show?
No, I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, it's from like the CW or something. I think it's on Netflix. The first season is actually pretty good, and then it gets kind of campy. Well, it was campy at the beginning. It goes downhill fast, but it's on there if you want some background noise. It's fun. It's like an anthology. Each one's different. So
That would be really fun to do. I mean, to make on your own. I wonder if they just go to Reddit and just get their material from there.
probably, I think especially the first season, I know they were like really popular, like internet ones. Some of them you can kind of seem like a stretch. Like I think they say it in the beginning, and then you have like the whole like scripted thing where they show it and then the twist in the end and then they show it one last time, or maybe they do one sentence in the beginning and show the second sentence in the end. I don't remember, but the first season was all right and we enjoyed it for what it was. I think it was like to me like a 5 or 6, maybe some of the episodes were like a 7 out of 10. The second season though was like all less than 5 out of 10. They were rough.
Okay.
So
Okay, yeah, Rebecca's saying that. Oh, by the way, Ethan doesn't have his chat pulled up, so I'm going to be reading the chat today. So if you say something towards Ethan, I will tell him for you, because
I
we
appreciate
don't.
it.
That's okay. We don't want to like take a chance on anything crashing. But let me catch up on the chat real quick. We've got Creepy Clown Girl. How's it going? Thanks for hanging out. Jake's here. The chat scroll up too fast. I missed him, but he's here somewhere. Uh, Rebecca's here, and yeah, she said that they do say the first at the beginning and the other one at the end. I figured it'd be like
Okay.
just multiple stories. I didn't know they were just doing one and making it into a long story.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty cool. It's different.
hmm,
So check it out, you guys.
cool deal. But
Yeah.
yeah, like we said earlier, this topic was chosen by a poll, and every other week for our live streams, Ethan's putting up a poll to ask you guys what you want to see, and you vote on it, and we'll talk about it in the live stream. So you guys have control over what the topic is. Just hang out, keep an eye out for that poll, and interact with it, and we'll do what you guys want.
Yeah, so if you have any ideas, leave a comment. Also, if you're in here, just leave a like. It help us out. And we're having fun with these. We're doing something every week now. We have shorts that are taking off. Blake has retrograde shorts that are doing really well. So we're having a little
Uh,
bit of success coming back. A
we're
tiny bit.
a little bit of a YouTube renaissance for us, because
Yeah,
like this is
yeah,
probably the most content we've put out in ever,
yeah,
consistently.
yeah.
So
So
hopefully it works out. We both saw a little bit of success this week, so that's good.
yeah, just stroke our egos a little bit with a couple views.
Yeah,
And no dislikes.
yeah, it helps. It helps a lot. It helps our like mental, like our psyche a lot, because like when you put out stuff and it doesn't get much feedback, you're just like, okay, is this worth doing? But when people actually, it takes off, it's like, oh, maybe I did something good. Maybe I should actually keep making content.
Yeah.
So
So
appreciate it.
Blake and
Yes.
everyone in the chat, have you guys had any unexplained disappearances that you can think of off the top of your head that really freak you out? Like any cases or anything you've seen that you're like, wow, what the fuck happened?
I had this Pokedex when I was a kid, and I haven't seen it in 20 years. No idea what
And it
happened. As far
might
as
be worth something too on eBay now.
it is worth something. And I was just talking to Dotson last night about. I also had a Pokemon pinball machine that was like a literal, like a physical pinball machine, and
What?
it's disappeared. Of course, Dotson still has one, but makes me mad. It's like all this stuff that I would never have thrown away. I know for a fact I didn't throw it away, but my mom was just like, "Oh, well, I guess he probably is not into Pokemon anymore since he's an adult. I should just throw this away or donate it." And like, you fool, what have you done? But
Huh.
Very upset. I can't. She's not sure she threw it away, but I'm pretty sure she threw it away.
I mean, who else would have? Or Brittany took it. Brittany's got it at her house. She plays it every night and
No,
just laughs.
because Brittany messaged me a couple weeks ago. Was like, "Hey, have you seen the Pokedex anywhere?" And I'm like, one, it's mine, so fuck off. Two, I don't know where it is. But if you find it, it's mine. So, but no, as far as people, not off the top of my head. I can't think of any. What about you?
Well, I got a couple. Well, really, one of my favorites is in here, and a couple of these are ones that I really think of. So we'll get to them. And I posted one of these, the very first one, to our Facebook and to our Reddit when we kind of had one in Discord. So, but we've been some of these cases really get to you. They have a lot of like what ifs because I don't know. There's just something about when people disappear. You got to think like what exactly happened. What were the last? Because there's so many unknowns. Like what were the last moments like, and how did they end up like that? So.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
let's find out. Let's go ahead and jump in.
Oh, you want to read the first one? Yeah, you can go for it.
All right, cool. So on June 4th, 2010, 7-year-old Kyron Horman attended his school science fair with stepmother Terry before school began that day. She walked him into the classroom hallway. They waved goodbye to each other, and that was the last time she saw him when he was walking in the direction of his classroom. It's worth noting that due to the science fair that morning, there were many more people inside the school than usual. Terry and Kane, his biological father and Terry's husband, did not learn of Kyron's disappearance until that afternoon as they waited for him at the bus stop, and the bus driver told them that he never got on the bus. They later discovered that he had been marked absent from school that day. At 3:46 p.m. that day, 911 was called to report Kyron's disappearance. A landscaper who worked on Terry and Kane's house came forward and claimed that Terry had hired him 6 to 7 months prior to killing Kane. He had hired him to kill Kane. This broke down Terry and Kane's relationship and caused Kane to think that his wife was responsible for Kyron's disappearance. There's been no official suspect named in the case. However, police have focused extensively on Terry as a person of interest. Furthermore, Terry has been put under intense speculation from Kane and Desiree, Kyron's biological mother, for the disappearance of their son. Other theories include that Kyron either became overwhelmed and ran out, or that someone made fun of his project and he got upset and ran away. Science fairs are crazy, overpacked, and incredibly busy. Anyone could have taken him from the school, or he ran out and went to the woods and never made it back. Many believe his body is still somewhere in the surrounding woods of the area. So what do you think? That was a quick summary, but you can really go on a deep dive of this case and what happened to the poor kid. Have you ever heard of this case before?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this case before I found it, and a couple of these other ones, we go into more of a deep dive of it. So, but yeah, I think he probably is somewhere in the woods, or the stepmother had something to do with it, from what I've found. So I'm not quite sure which way to do it.
Yeah, try to focus your webcam real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was like, it just got fuzzy.
Put your finger up to. There you go. You got it.
There we go. Okay.
But yeah,
there we go.
I feel like it was the so let me make sure I read it right. So the stepmom was the one that dropped him off at the school. Is that what I'm reading right? Okay, Terry.
Well, yeah, that, and she was the one who I think came to the science fair because they have a picture of him there, and his science fair supposedly was a success and everything was going great, and all of a sudden he didn't come back to class, or he was just missing. So either in between it, he ran out, or there's a theory that, there were so many people there, he got shuffled through and someone took him, but you would think someone would have seen something. Like, I don't know. It's strange.
I feel like it was probably the stepmom. I feel like she was probably trying to get rid of them both, because if he was marked absent, usually they do that at the very first class of the day. So he never made it I assume he never made it to the first class. So it's not likely that, someone just came into a science fair and just stole a random kid. And that kid's stepmom was also, trying to kill the husband. So. Yeah,
usually these things are family based. So you would think someone, but I mean, what would be her motive? That's where the thing is with the stepmom, that's where the investigation focused. So you would think if there was anything there, they could have got her on something. She would have made it tripped up somewhere, but I don't know.
You'd think so. Hey, Mama Pink, how's it going? Thanks for coming to hang out. But yeah, that's sad. regardless, like, are they still looking into this? Like,
Yeah, all of these are still pretty active, and in fact, one of them that I didn't put on here because it just you can go so deep in it is the Madeline McCain case. I think they have a Netflix documentary. Rebecca watched it. It's really popular, and they just named the official suspect in that. I read a thing where they arrested the guy, but then when I was researching it for this, like he was just named as a suspect. So a lot of these are still going on, and because like a lot of these are really like the internet's really into them. So there's a lot of amateur people that try to deduce stuff and put things together. So you can find some wild theories about some of these.
yeah, well, it's like the new season of Dexter where you've got the podcast person, you know, that's something Dexter never had to deal with. It's like, damn it, there's people making podcasts now.
Yeah. I like that. It was kind of meta though, like how they were just showing that because I mean that's how things are, and people will post. I think the weirdest thing besides like podcasts are the people that do like the seances and the Ouija board sessions after celebrities have died. So
Yeah, I have a really bad problem with that. Like, there was a guy, I don't know if I've talked to you about him. His name's J Station, and he got banned from YouTube finally, but he had millions of subs. And like, as soon as a celebrity would die, that night he would be doing a 3 a.m. contacting them with a Ouija board challenge. And they finally got rid of him, but like, he was just terrible. Like, the night that Ariana Grande's ex, what was his name, the rapper?
oh, Mac Miller.
Yeah, the night he died, he was making one. He was like, "Can you tell me how you died?" And like, he was making it sound like Ariana killed me, or like had something to do with it. And it's like, dude, you're such a scumbag.
Should really ask me like was Pete Davidson involved? That's my favorite conspiracy is that he was
Skeet
there.
Davidson.
He was the one who yeah, he's the one who got the drugs that he OD'd on. And like he like part of the missing there's some stuff missing or redacted from the case that they think that was Pete Davidson getting out of it. So
Wouldn't
I
that be a
don't know.
wild conspiracy? In 20 years, we'll be talking about how they just uncovered that Pete Davidson was the mastermind behind everyone in Hollywood.
Well, there's
Kanye
a
was
couple
right.
that yeah, well there's two other Pete Davidson ones. Another one is that him and like Machine Gun Kelly are hired by like semi or celebrity or B-list celebrities to date them to try to appear better or like to be their like gossip boyfriends, like they get in the gossip columns to get talked about so they can stay relevant. And then the other is that Pete Davidson dates all these like celebrity women because he's trying to take down the Illuminati from the inside for the death of his father during 9/11. So
Oh my
he's trying to
god!
find it out. Yeah, there's people that go on these really big Pete Davidson like conspiracies. They're real on the internet. Search them.
Wow,
So
that's insane. That's quite a story, but I'll definitely have to look into that because that's we just need to do next April Fools. We'll just cover random shit like that. That's wild.
yeah.
But
So
what?
I was gonna say, what would you do if your kid went missing? Like if your kid disappeared from a science fair, or what if you thought your partner took your kid or had something done with them?
God, man, I don't know. I know how like overprotective I am of Navi, and she's a dog. Like if she went missing, I'd be looking for months, like on the road, because like I lost a cat that I only had for like 2 weeks, and I was out for weeks looking for it. So like I don't know. I wouldn't be able to like do anything. I wouldn't be able to work. I wouldn't be able to like keep my mind on anything else. That's like it's the worst thing I could imagine happening.
Yeah, I
Now
forgot about
that
the
you have a
cat.
kid. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. That was sad. I remember the Facebook posts and everything. Dude, that was sad. That was a sad time.
Yeah, because like my
So,
dad hated cats and he was like totally against it because I just found the cat at work and like I was like, this thing's gonna die if I don't take care of it. And like he was upset about it. Like he was going with me to look for the cat. He was like, man, he went without me to look for the cat sometimes. It was like, man, this sucks. And it was the day after I got him like all of his shots and all that stuff. So I think he was just using me. He's probably out there living his best life.
he's like, I can survive on my own now. Fuck rabies.
Yeah, works every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you do?
I mean, it would definitely be so. I mean, I'd pretty much. Well, I've already talked about stuff like that. If something happened to my kid, probably like something, it'd probably change my whole outlook on life. Because just having a kid has changed my whole outlook. So I'd probably definitely shift and probably just live kind of more reclusive and kind of like semi-retired life. Probably. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
like and spend my time like hunting, researching, trying to do something. I mean, if it got to the point where we thought he was still alive, like private investigators, stuff like that, I would definitely go off the deep end for it. But it would definitely change my whole like outlook on everything. So
Yeah, definitely. You'll become a vigilante.
I don't know about that. I would definitely. I'd be like one of those crazy people that have like a room full of like missing like newspaper and internet clippings
The
and
red
everything, trying to put
yarn.
it together. Yeah, yeah, that's more like I would be. So I'd be like the crazy person calling like news outlets or people to try to get me to help me with it. I don't know. So
I can imagine it would be horrible, but unfortunately, it happens to a lot of people a lot of the time.
yeah. So
Depressing.
well, talking about that stuff like getting vengeance or the vigilante. Have you seen the new Batman movie?
No, I need
It's
to.
on. Yeah.
I think they said it's coming out on HBO soon.
Yeah, it's on HBO. It came out on last Monday, so me and Rebecca watched it last night. So
I think I still
it
have the
was good.
subscription. I'll have to check it out because I do want to watch it.
Yeah, if not, you can use ours. It's 3 hours long. That's the only thing. We managed
Wow.
it in 3 hours, even with Charlie. So, but it was a long three. It was. It seemed there parts of it were kind of long. I really liked it overall, the vibe, and I really liked Robert Pattinson in it. But it was definitely it's a big commitment. 3 hour movie is a big commitment when you're older.
No, it absolutely is. It's like it's hard to stay that invested that long. But
Yeah.
I did watch Moon Knight.
Oh, do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like I thought I would be interested by it, but like I'm dying for the next episode. I'm really into it.
So have you watched all of the episodes now?
Yeah, I'm caught up.
I think we haven't watched the most recent, so
It's good.
we got to get to it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think there's only 6 episodes altogether. So
Yeah.
that's the fourth one that just came out. So they're getting close to it.
I don't know why my dog just barked.
I just noticed your
Yes.
shirt. It's
Oh
fancy.
yeah, it's hold on. It keeps blurring. Hold on.
Not the
Oh yeah,
mama.
yeah. If I can get it to focus, man. Up.
We
Maybe.
we just need
No.
to get you a whole new setup.
Yeah, no. Hold on. Yeah, but number one, not the mama. So, but besides like Batman and Moon Knight, do you watch any true crime shows or documentaries or anything?
Sometimes, like if I get a really good recommendation, I'll watch one and I enjoy them. But I haven't really heard anybody talk about any new ones lately. Because
Yeah.
like the last thing I watched was The Jinx, and that was really good. Have you seen that? Have we talked about that?
No, I saw where you were talking to Ryan about it though on Twitter. So,
You should definitely watch that, especially since he just died.
oh, did he?
So
I didn't know. I see. I briefly searched it. I saw that like in between work, like in between I had customers, and I went to search it, found it, and then all of a sudden I had someone else on the phone. So I didn't go further into it. So, but that was that on HBO? Or what was that on?
yeah, that was on HBO. It's
Yeah.
like a 4 or 5 episode miniseries, but it's really good. And it's crazy how the dude got caught.
Yeah. I'm about to have to get my dog. So
Just put her on
tell
stream.
people what the
No
jinx
one's
is.
seen Sassy in a while.
I will. Yeah. Hold on. I don't know why she's freaking out. So because I took care of her beforehand. So hold on. Sorry guys.
It just turns out there's an intruder, and she's been trying to warn Ethan for a while. That's why Rebecca hasn't said anything in the chat in a while. But yeah, so for those who don't know, the Jinx is, I think his name was Robert Durst. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while since I watched it. But he was a member of a very rich family in New York, and he had a lot of one of his ex-wives just randomly disappeared. There's Sassy. Oh, she still got the cone. But one of his ex-wives disappeared, and then other people around him were disappearing. But he kept getting away with it because nobody he would just disappear, and no one knew what was going on. And eventually, someone made a movie about it because he went to trial and they couldn't pin it on him. And someone made a movie about it, and then the guy that made the movie about it got a call from the real guy, and he was like, "Hey, would you like to interview me? Since you made a movie about me." And he's like, "Sure." And during the interview, he ends up saying more than he wants to say or more than he intended to say, and it leads to another investigation. So it's pretty cool.
Is that the one where he admits to it at the end of it that you were talking about, or
Yeah,
was that
he's
something else? Okay.
he's in the bathroom and he's like, "You done did it." It's like, "You said too much, Robert. You said too much, Robert. You done fucked yourself." And then they're like, "Dude, your mic's still on." He's like, what? And then it's
Just
just
runs
like,
out of the building.
yeah, it just like cuts to, I mean, it's just like after that, they opened an investigation. And as of the documentary, they hadn't convicted him, but they did convict him after that.
Oh,
So these documentaries have their place.
yeah, Rebecca gets into them. I don't watch them as much. Hold on, here's Sassy. She's still got a cone on her head. She broke 2 of her legs about 6 weeks ago. She's doing better though. So she jumped off the bed and landed bad. So,
Poor
but
thing.
she's still healing. But the cone's really pretty much there just to stop her from licking. She's almost over all of it, and she's trying to do more than she should. But I don't know what stirred her up because she has been usually just chilling while I do these streams. So, but I'm gonna keep her in my lap while we go into the next one. This next one actually happened close to us, and I'd heard about it for years. I had no idea it happened in North Carolina, and that the girl was is the same age as us, which is really creepy. Or she was when she did. She was born in the same year. Okay, so one unsolved disappearance that freaks me out the most is the I forgot to look up how to pronounce her name. Asha Degree case. Asha Degree case. I should. I have this weird thing where I just assume how to pronounce stuff in my head when I read things. I don't ever look it up. I had something like that with the Lonergan disappearance video I did with the lady. I always pronounce it some way in my head, and I never looked up how to pronounce it. And apparently, I was saying it wrong the entire time, or at
It's
least
like
according to one comment.
it's like when we
So,
were kids and like we played Pokemon, and then we like talked to our friends about it, and they pronounced it completely different. It's like, oh wait, maybe I'm wrong.
yeah. So. But this is a case of a shy 9-year-old girl who randomly packed her bags in the middle of the night and left her home in North Carolina in the middle of a thunderstorm at 2 a.m. on Valentine's Day in 2000. Her bag was later discovered wrapped in plastic and buried, but she has never been found. Several witnesses saw her walking down North Carolina 18 between 3:45 and 4:15 a.m. When one driver went to approach her and ask her what she was doing, she fled into the woods. 2 days later, candy wrappers, a pencil, and a Mickey Mouse bow was discovered in an abandoned chicken shed in the woods that she was spotted running into. They were identified as her belongings. Around a year and a half later, her book bag was found double wrapped in trash bags in a remote area of Burke County, about 26 miles north of her home. In February of 2015, the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office and FBI began to re-examine the case. They went through all the evidence they collected, they went through and re-interviewed everyone, and went over the initial investigation findings. During the strenuous process, a new viable lead was made, and in May of 2016, law enforcement announced to the public that there may have been sightings of Asha entering a dark green early 1970s Lincoln Continental Mark IV, or it was a Ford Thunderbird with rust along its wheel wells. 3 years later, on October 2018, the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office unveiled more possible clues related to her disappearance. The first piece of evidence was a book called McElliot's Pool by Dr. Seuss that had apparently been checked out by her from her elementary school library and was found in the book bag. But the school didn't contain any records that dated that far back to confirm it, but supposedly they verified it. The second clue was a white t-shirt with a red collar, matching sleeves featuring a picture of the band The New Kids on the Block on the front. The police were hoping by releasing this new information, they will be willing to jog someone's memory as to whether or not they remember someone having these items shortly before she vanished. As of today, there are no prominent suspects in the case, despite the latest information being released in the last 3 years. What do you think happened to her?
I definitely think she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
I mean, the trash bags around the book bag definitely sounds like they were trying to get rid of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it said, it was like 2000 that happened.
Yeah, it was 2000, February of 2000.
Because like my brain first goes to like she was talking to someone on a chat room or something. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if I mean computers. I can't remember when they started really getting like popular. But
Yeah.
you know, it sounds like on Valentine's Day, maybe someone groomed her and was like, "Hey, meet me on Valentine's Day. I'll take you somewhere." And
Yeah, so grooming's the number one thing, but the reason why for it is so there was no computer in the household. Her family was super religious, and so she didn't really have access to anyone but close family or like friends of the family.
so
So
someone in the church.
yeah, so they think someone close to her like convinced her like, hey, your parents need to have Valentine's Day off or come to me for Valentine's Day, or they were do she had like a surprise for her family for Valentine's Day. That's what got her out of the house because she really didn't have that much contact with the outside world, supposedly.
I literally didn't see that you put on there was no computer in her house, and
No, I was
the
gonna read
next
that the next
sentence.
thing. No, it's fine. No, that was a whole nother thing. So no, because okay, I'll read it. So yeah, there's no computer in her household, so she couldn't have met some stranger who lured her out. She did well in school and she had a supportive family, so none of the typical reasons children run away. So she supposedly had a good home life, according to everyone, and she was also extremely afraid of dogs and kind of being outside and walking alone. So the idea of her just like walking out is just completely against her character. So many think that someone close to her had been grooming her and lured her out to meet that morning. There's others that like really hate on the whole Christian upbringing. So some people say that like the Christian upbringing wasn't good. It was a hostile household, so that she was trying to escape being that controlled and everything. But she's being her age,
Yeah,
like I don't know. If she was a teenager, I would see that. I don't know. I don't think she would have gotten to that point in life yet.
yeah,
So
9-year-olds. I mean, unless things are really bad, like you're not going to do that.
yeah, it's not the normal teenage rebellion where you start to realize like what's really out there and you want to get away from your parents. I don't know.
And Valentine's Day isn't that big of a deal to kids that age either. I wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
it. Maybe it is for women, but it wasn't for me. I was just like, okay, cool. I have to cut out 20 Valentines from my classmates I don't like.
Yeah.
Mama
You
Pink was
didn't get
also on the internet predator train. I just saw that. Sorry. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably someone from the church or close family that just lured her out.
Yeah, so that's another thing that people think with the police releasing the specific information years later. That they had a pretty good idea who it was, but they couldn't put any information on it. So they released those items to try to trigger people's memory and like, try to get more evidence on a specific person. Or at least that they've narrowed it down to a few close people. But like, did they murder her? Is she stuck in someone's basement right now? What happened? Right now, she'd be 31 years old if she's still alive.
I don't know. I mean, I never say never because what was the name of the girl that got stuck in the basement for so many years?
Yeah, that stuff is creepy. I don't
I
remember,
can't
but yeah,
remember
that
the
stuff
name.
is really freaky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, people are really messed up, but back
Mhm.
then it was probably a lot easier to do that because it wasn't as easy to you couldn't just go on Facebook and put a missing poster up or be like, hey, this person's missing. You only heard it on the news, and the news would probably just stop talking about it eventually.
Yeah.
So
There's one, I don't remember this case. I just remember this guy's response. It was one of the basement cases where they found his daughter or someone, they found someone alive in his basement. And when he was arrested, his response was, just imagine how many houses you drive past where there's someone trapped in there against their will. There's more than you'd ever imagine.
God, man, that's
That's,
terrible.
yeah, whether it's true or not, it's weird they would think that's A, common, B, like that's a real possibility. You never know what the real people are behind closed doors sometimes.
Yeah, there could be someone trapped in my basement. I can't get rid of them. They won't leave. Oh man, but that's terrible. That's I don't know. Even if she was alive, I don't think I'd want to live that long in that you know in that situation.
No. So this case happened. It was in Shelby, North Carolina. Have you ever been there?
I feel like I have. I've been around the Charlotte area a lot, so I feel like I've probably accidentally stumbled into Shelby.
Yeah, I don't
Trent
think I've actually
Trent said
been there,
free
but I've
rent.
heard of it. Yeah. The housing market these days.
Yeah,
You have to do what you got to do.
yeah, gotta do it, man. Oh, you said it's kind of near where the Panther Stadium is.
Yeah,
Okay.
supposedly. Yeah. Yeah, this next one, because that was a way to segue into the next one. Do you consider yourself a passionate football fan or not?
I it I really like the Carolina Panthers, but it's depending on it. Like my passion depends on how they're doing. Because like the last 3 years, I've just been like, I'm a fan, but I'm not happy about it. But like the
Yeah.
year they went to the Super Bowl, I was really happy about it until the Super Bowl, and then I got real depressed. And there's still a picture of me floating around somewhere.
Yeah, that's how I knew. That's how I knew you were a true fan. That's your reaction to the whole Super Bowl. That was a sad night. I'm sorry that happened
I
to
was
you.
so depressed, man. Like waiting years and years for your team to finally do something, and then they just shit the bed on national TV. It's something else.
Do you think they'll get Baker Mayfield? Do you think that's a possibility?
That was the like I'm hoping for that because like right now it's that or Sam Darnold, and like Sam
Yeah.
Darnold hasn't done anything. Cam Newton just got in trouble again, so even if he came back, he wasn't doing great. So
Well, I was gonna say, is he even technically for next year? Do you know? I haven't heard anything about Cam Newton.
no, I think he
So
was a 1 year contract last year,
okay,
and I don't think they've committed to him. I don't think they will.
yeah. It was like he had that one game and maybe part of the second game, and I didn't hear anything else about him. So
Yeah, they were doing like they were kind of messing around where they'd be like going from quarterback to quarterback, and it was working, and then they like tried to stick with one quarterback and just weren't doing anything.
yeah.
So, oh, Mom Pink said I had an ex who would lock me into an apartment so I wouldn't leave and talk to other men. That's crazy. People are crazy. Like the controlling, like that's a whole new level. But I mean, people do that.
Yeah. It's sad though, like, because usually the people doing the controlling, like, they don't really have much going for them to begin with. It's just like, what is wrong with you? Why?
Exactly.
Also, usually the people making accusations have something they're trying to hide too. So it's kind of like a catch-22. Like, what were they hiding?
Yeah, they're projecting.
Yeah, yeah. You can't trust
Yeah.
them.
But yeah, so speaking of football, have you ever gotten in a fight over football, Ethan?
No, never have I ever. The most passion I've really seen is like with you. I'm more of a bandwagon fan. I hate to say it, but I just love like jumping on to like when there's excitement surrounding a team. The good thing with the Bengals with Joe Burrow, I literally called that months in advance. So Michael can, I was a big Joe Burrow, and I like Justin Herbert too. But I was saying like they would do really good. I was really betting on the Bengals. I did not in my football pool that I did for like the playoffs with different people at work. I didn't even have the Bengals making it past their second playoff game, so I didn't believe in them that much. But I'm
I
not
was
that passionate.
I was
So
hoping for it. Oh, how's it going? Local legends Burton Moran said hello. Hello to yourself.
what's
Thanks for
up?
joining us.
Yeah. But this next case is about the real football, soccer, not American football. But
Football.
we don't really watch. Do you watch soccer by chance or care about soccer at all?
I'll watch it if it's on at like work. Like we just have it on ESPN all the time. So if it comes on, I'll watch it, but I don't know a thing about it.
You
But it
get to
is fun
watch
to
TV
watch.
at work?
Yeah, man, we get to. I mean, I watched Moon Knight at work. That's how I just binged all the episodes of Moon Knight in one night.
Wow. I had no
hopefully,
idea it was that cool.
hopefully, no one's watching this stream. But yeah, like it's. I mean, in our I did that on my own time, like at work. But like in our lunchroom, we have three TVs. We have one that always plays Fox News, one that always plays CNN, and then one that always plays ESPN. And that's the only one anyone watches.
It's
So,
like you got to appeal to every side. You have like one side at neutral.
hmm yeah. So
That's
like
funny.
we were in there during the Olympics. Like I got really into curling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like women's curling was playing at like midnight one night, and we were just like, we started out like, this is so stupid. And then an hour later, it's like, oh my god, he's gonna win. She's gonna win it. It's like she's gonna knock him out on this one. Like we were just getting super invested. It's like, man, Sweden is doing really nice. So I'm all about curling now.
No, I mean, talking about the most I've ever been into soccer was like getting into the World Cup back before when I was a teenager, just watching it in the summer. Like I watched it. It was whenever the Zidane headbutt happened. I guess 2005, 2006. I don't know how the schedule works anymore. I guess it was 2006 maybe. It was before I started working in the movie theater, so I saw it that summer. So I would just chill, watch like literally watched every game
That's awesome.
for some reason. Yeah.
Oh, Mama Pink said women's soccer is brutal. I love it. Yeah, women's soccer does really well for us. Uh, Kenneth said the only sport I like is figure skating. That's another thing. We were watching the Super Bowl, And like after the Super Bowl, it went to like figure skating, and we were just getting super into that. And Trench said, "It's me, Blick's boss." Local legend said, "That's a lot of Moon Knight. It's not enough Moon Knight. Need more." And Mom Pink said, "Kenneth, Christy Yamaguchi, and I had the same coach back in the early '80s." Well, that's cool. I'm assuming that's a
Small
big
world.
name.
Yeah, it's a very big name.
I was just
Massive.
watching the figure skating. I didn't get into the background, but that's really neat. Yamaguchi
Isn't
sounds like a fancy name to
I was
be a
gonna say, is
coach.
that the one that they have a movie on? Me and Rebecca were about to watch a movie on something, and she was gonna watch it without me, and I told her to stop so I could watch it, and then we haven't gotten back into it. But the dog, he's freaking out.
So we'll get back on topic about soccer. So this next case starts with a passionate football fan who vanished, except he's a real football fan, a soccer fan. Soccer fans can be some of the most passionate fans in the world. So in June 2014, 28-year-old German tourist Lars Mittank, or Mittank, I don't know, I'm going to try Mittank, traveled to the popular Golden Sands resort in Varna, Bulgaria, for a holiday with friends. After displaying unusual behavior on the trip following a suspected beating, he bolted from the airport and was captured by cameras disappearing into a field of tall sunflowers. No trace of him has ever been found. Footage of his final known movements have been viewed over 1 million times on YouTube, leading to him being named the world's most famous missing tourist. On July 6th, Lars got into a fight with 4 other men over a sports team. Lars was hit in the hit in the ear and suffered a ruptured eardrum and a cracked jaw. A local doctor who examined him told him he could not fly home the next day as planned. Some reports say he was allowed to fly, but Lars told his mother he was not, or that he chose not to fly home. And they prescribed Lars an antibiotic. His friends wanted him to stay with him, but Lars insisted that he'd be fine by himself, so they flew home without him. Lars rented a cheap room at a local hotel near the center of Varna. His first night there, he began to demonstrate strange behavior, appearing paranoid that he was being pursued by the group of men that he claimed had beaten him the previous night. At one point, he hid in an elevator for a prolonged period of time before leaving the hotel at around midnight and only returning hours later. When he returned to his hotel room, he called his mother in Germany and told her he was being followed and did not feel safe staying at this hotel. He spoke in a hushed voice and claimed that 4 men were following him who wanted to know what the tablets were that he had been prescribed. He wanted to cancel his credit cards and stated that there was something strange about the hotel. His mother booked him an airplane and a bus ticket for home the following day, on July 8th, 2014. The next day, Lars traveled to the Varna airport, where he met with the airport doctor to discuss if his ear had healed sufficiently to allow him to fly home. During the conversation, it appears that the pair were interrupted when an unknown male walked into medical services dressed like a construction worker. When Lars saw this man, he became anxious, mumbled something to the doctor, and then lightly jogged across the parking lot and scaled a fence. Multiple cameras recorded him fleeing across the car parking lot, before climbing a fence and disappearing into a field of sunflowers. He was never seen again. There was an unconfirmed sighting of Lars almost a year later, around Easter 2015. A truck driver claimed that he gave a young man a ride who matched Lars' description. However, it's not known where he took the young man. When Lars ran out of the airport, he dropped his luggage and backpack behind, but the bags didn't offer any clues regarding Lars' strange behavior and disappearance. What do you think happened to him?
This case has driven people crazy because you can see it on a lot of the CCTV compilation videos on YouTube or like true crime videos about what happened to us. It's really crazy because he is acting kind of normal, then all of a sudden he just drops everything and just runs out, and you don't know why or what happened to him. There's a lot of people that say like the ear thing, like he could have had like a small procedure done to where he could fly with his friends. They don't know why they wouldn't have done that to relieve the pressure, or if it was just in case, or if really there was an ear thing at all. But he really got paranoid really quick. So,
Yeah, 'cause, like, my
have you
first
heard of this
thought,
before?
no, I've never heard of that. My first thought was maybe he had a concussion, but like I assume the doctors would have checked him for that. But I don't know, like maybe he was kidnapped.
Yeah, so a lot of people think, I mean, it's driven the internet crazy. Like that people have watched it over and over. It gets posted a whole lot. You'll see it get posted on Facebook. So a lot of people think he had a ruptured ear canal and he suffered some sort of brain injury when it happened, or that he had a really bad reaction to antibiotics. So that's why he was talking about the people wanting to know what the tablets he were taking. Like that caused them to get paranoid about him taking it. They had some sort of side effect that caused him to get a paranoid state. But no one really has had something that extreme happen to him from the antibiotics that he was on. Others say that he was like possibly like a drug mule, that he was used to like take drugs from country to country, and that's why he was paranoid, and that he got into a fight over drugs, and he was stuck to be left behind, even though there were no drugs found in the bags that he left. People think that maybe his friends were the ones that took the drugs, and he had to stay behind for some other reason as collateral, and then he saw one of the people, drug dealers, cartel people, and that's what caused him to run out, thinking he wasn't safe. Or maybe he just had like a mental breakdown. I mean, he had no prior like mental illness history, but stuff can happen as you get older. Like you don't know what he could have. He could have been hearing voices or having delusions before that, and it just reached a stance when he was left on his own in an unknown country, or even after. But I mean, the injury, the head injury, could have brought on something. So that lied dormant. Others, I mean, there's a lot of crazy theories. Some people think he was an organ harvester. He was other involved in human trafficking. People have really gone deep on this one, and yet no one's been able to explain it. It's just all just this footage of him just running out, and he's never been seen again.
Yeah, I mean, they could have known this guy's a foreigner. It won't be easy for them to find out what happened to him. And, like, Germany probably couldn't really get too much out of out of the local government. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is don't travel ever.
Yeah, exactly. Stay in your own little bubble. The world is a scary place, guys. You never know what's going to happen.
It is. In the chat, they're talking about figure skating still. Mom Pink said, Kenneth, I recently started skating again after 40 years. I started looking at my past and found a picture of Robin Cousins and me. I've also skated with Boitano and got to hang out with him and his boyfriend, Frank, I'm going to murder this, D'Ambrosio, a few years ago. But I actually know Boitano only because of South Park. Yeah. But what would Brian Boitano do if he was here right now? He'd probably kick an S or two. That's what Brian Boitano do. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I think watching figure skating, there's something relaxing about it almost, because it's like so timed to the music and soothing type thing, and just seeing them do it. But when they mess up, they just look, I mean, it's terrible. I feel so bad. So.
Yeah, local legend said, no, don't travel. I leave for Texas in a few days to go to the Goatman's Bridge. That'll be cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Because that's a cool place to go. I've never been to Texas. I got family in Texas, but I've never actually been.
What? You should go to Texas, man. You should check it out.
I know, it's on my list. There's so many places to go. We'll have to put out an Alamo video. You fund it, and I'll go.
Okay. I mean, I'm for it. I'm saying, like, you and Jake still need, you should do the Airbnb thing. I was literally just thinking about it today. I almost messaged you about it. I had a lot going on with, like, getting Charlie ready, and then apparently this dog is just being uppity. But, no, you guys, we can do whatever. I want to do, I mean, can't do as much with the kid, but you guys need to do something before Jake has a kid, because once he has a kid, the time just disappears so easy. Like,
well, they say that kids can see ghosts, so like we'll just have a team of baby ghosts. We'll call it, like, you know how they had a pup named Scooby Doo. We'll have like baby Strangest, baby's first investigation, and we'll make a kid. We can post it on YouTube Kids. That'll be what gets us famous.
Maybe there's one thing I have for the next poll, and one of them's reincarnation stories, because I'm just waiting to hear about some of those. Like, what if some past life stories? Like, Charlie's like very traumatic by this car we got him for his first birthday. He hates it. Really? And I'm like, what if he died in like a Power Wheels accident or a car crash? And that's what he's reliving his past trauma in that. Like, that's rough.
The Power Wheels accident. That's sad.
Yeah. But he hates it. He hates just being like, we rode him around in it one day, and he did fine for like 5 minutes, and then he freaked out. And then we did his like first birthday pictures, and him being in it was part of the pictures. And as soon as he just touched it, he just freaked out and would not stop crying. We did at the end, because we were worried something like that would happen after the way you reacted, but he does not like cars right now. So
Hopefully he'll get into it. I mean, I can
yeah,
see where that'd be kind of scary if you're not used to it.
yeah,
Trench said, I'm fascinated with reincarnation. It is really cool to think about. Like, that's probably one of my favorite ways. Like, when you talk about life and death, it's like, I would be cool with the idea of reincarnation. Although I'm probably, like, it's probably going to be a bad time for the next generation. But, yeah, I think it's really neat to think about. And Mama Pink said, I've only ever had a major Mandela effect happen to me, no reincarnation. What was the Mandela effect? I'm curious to know. Maybe it's happened to us too. And also going to stop at Stull, Kansas to investigate the cemetery. Some say it's a portal to hell. That's cool. Definitely want to hear about that. We'll have to check that out. Ethan's been to a portal to hell. I didn't
yeah. I was
get out
gonna
of the
say,
car.
yeah. Finally, Blake stayed in the car.
It
But yeah,
wasn't because I was scared. It's just because it was like on the side of the road, and I was like, I can't just park here. I was like, if the cops come, I'm gonna have to move my car.
yeah, and it was a long walk. It wasn't just like on the side of the road. There's the gate of hell. You had to walk down. I mean, we're gonna have a video of it. It's coming in the next 3 months, I promise, because it's something I've been working on pretty good now. But it was in Massachusetts. It's called Spider Gate Cemetery. I think it's I can't remember the city it's outside of, but it's really cool, and it's a really old cemetery, and it'll be a fun. You should definitely check out any portal of hell, any chance you get. We didn't have anything happen to us while we were there. We went during the day though, but it was just that one was just such an old, strange cemetery that I could just see why there's so many like legends surrounding it. Either way, I could only imagine being like a local, like being a teenager and going there at night. It'd been so much fun. It'd be even better than around us. We have like Satan's Bridge, so. It's way
Yeah,
cooler than Satan's Bridge.
yeah. Satan's Bridge is just folklore and graffiti.
Yeah,
Mom
that
Pink.
cemetery was. Sorry, I
Oh no, go ahead, say it.
was gonna say that cemetery during the day was cooler than Satan's Bridge at night, like at
Yeah,
midnight.
I
So
believe it. Mom Pink said the Mandela effect she had is the beat skip in the song "Staying Alive." So I'm not 100% sure what that beat skip is, but I'll have to check it out afterwards because I know that song pretty well. So I feel like I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
yeah, I've gotten into watching that channel all time. They have like 25 or more compilations of Mandela effects. But me and Rebecca will sometimes watch one of those, and there's some out there that get to me.
You want to know something that's really weird? It's not really a Mandela effect. It's just something I never thought about. But have you ever heard Michael Jackson's real voice?
No, I don't think so.
I was
Why?
watching a video popped up. I think it was on Facebook, and like he was at an award show, and like he goes up to the podium and he's like, "Hello, hello," and he's like,
What?
can you hear me? Can you hear me?" It's insane. I wonder if I can pull it up on stream. Hold up, I'll do it. This is gonna work well since I've
I mean, if it
never done
works,
this
you can
before.
show the CCTV thing of the guy just running out.
That's true. We're gonna evolve our stream a little bit today.
We'll make it a little interactive. If it crashes, it's not my fault this time. Knock
Yeah.
on wood. Yeah, it's not my fault yet.
Okay, let's see. This is it. I just got to do a. Oops, that's loud. 1 second. I don't know if you could hear that, but I'll play it again once I get the video going. Let's see here. Carry the stream for just a second.
Okay, I'll just carry. Well, so your new retrograde picture, did you make that or did you have someone make it for you?
Oh, hold up. I've got something.
I didn't know I could talk to. Oh, okay,
No, you're
sorry.
good. I accidentally put the screen on top of your face. What were you
It's fine.
saying? Say that again.
So your new retrograde picture, did you make that or did someone make it for you?
Someone made it for me.
Oh,
I,
that's
s-
cool.
I sent them the picture, and then they, because the original picture was just me wearing the glasses. Speaking of which, I got them right here. I haven't worn them on screen yet. Well, it doesn't work well with headphones, but they have a battery pack, so pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna wear those for the rest of the stream. But
And they fit the whole retrograde vibe so well, though.
I'm glad it worked out. So
So did
yeah,
you already have those, or did you get them off the internet, or did you
no,
just find them in your house?
they just popped up on things you might like on Amazon. I was like, you're right. You're damn right. Okay, so I guess I can't make it bigger. But anyway, I'll play the video. Hopefully you can
Okay.
hear it. Let's see, that should do it. All right, so
Can you hear me? Okay.
it'll start over.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I don't know if you could hear that, Ethan. But he's just like,
Lauren.
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyway, we'll start introducing more video clips once I have have it fixed for a format. That way we can show things. Mom Pink said must have. They are pretty good. They were only like $10.
Damn.
Yeah, I can.
Amazon will get you sometimes. Like you'll see some stuff that makes you want to go. Just click all of it. Just buy it all.
I can put my logo on here for the people that haven't seen it. That one's pretty easy to do. Let's see. Here it is. That is giant. Why is it so giant? Getting there. Hold up. Getting there. So that's the logo someone made. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, people with a lot more talent than I have because I can't draw for shit.
Well, it's so good that it almost looks like it was like a filter put over, because I saw the original picture you posted, so I didn't know if it was like something you filtered over and it just auto did it, or if it was something you had made based on that picture.
Maybe that's what they did. I don't know, but it was $30, so I'm gonna be mad if that's all they did.
Well, I had no idea, so no, that's why I was curious. So
Yeah, I think they did a good job though. Have the Strangest logo on the glasses and sell them as merch. I'm in.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, that right now that's the one I use for my other channel, the Retrograde. But yeah, we could get some made for the Strangest. We could have 2 cartoons. I know a guy. But yeah, I'm happy with it because like my old logo was just RG for Retrograde. It was like a triangle. It's that in the background right there. So it was like that's not very personable. So now people have a face to put with it at least.
Yeah. I mean, I think having your face out there is important. I think it really helps instead of just being just a disillusioned voice.
I think it does too. Which sucks because I hate being on camera. Like when I'm not on a live stream. Like I'm not a very camera prone dude.
Why you kill it? Like I said, I think part of your appeal is you seem like the average guy that anyone could be friends with.
It's a lie.
Well, it's a real thing. You literally in real life though, you're the most easygoing person I know. So
It's hard out here, man. But nah, it's just some people love to be in front of the camera. I'm just more shy in nature. I like just being in the corner and doing my own thing. But like voice, I can talk all day. It's just camera. But we're getting there. The more practice we get, the better we'll get.
yeah. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, a lot of these on here go into a deep dive. So yeah, we've gone a little bit further in each one, and then the last ones there's not much left. But we still have 2 more to go. So man. So have you heard of any of these cases yet, or are they all new to you?
Everything's new to me. I am just
we'll
so sheltered.
This one will definitely be new because I hadn't heard of this one, and there's not much known about it on the internet, and I'm pretty sure the husband did it, but you can't really say it. He's never been convicted. But so Joanne Hansen disappeared 3 months after filing for divorce. After filing for divorce, and 2 days after securing a restraining order against her husband, Robert Hansen, that required him to move out of the house so that Joanne could move back in. On the day of her disappearance, she was on the phone with a friend when suddenly she said, "Oh my God, he's in the basement, he's coming." She screamed, and then the line went dead. The friend kept trying to call back over and over again until she finally got an answer. And then her husband Robert answered, and the friend asked, "Where is she? What happened to her?" And he's like, "I thought she was with you," and hung up.
What?
So yeah, that's literally what happened. Robert was never charged with her murder due to the lack of evidence, and their children grew up believing that their mother had abandoned them. After Joanne's disappearance, Robert racked up a bunch of assault and property damage charges, and police even briefly suspected that he was the Green River Killer, a serial killer who killed prostitutes in the Seattle area and Tacoma area, who was responsible for numerous disappearances and homicides. However, the Green River Killer was eventually identified as Gary Leon Ridgway. So, when he did die, he actually got super wealthy. He became a contractor. He was a contractor, was big in the construction industry, and had a bunch of rental properties. So his estate, when they got divorced, he was worth $300,000. By the time he died, he was worth $5 million. He died by suicide in August 2009, leaving an estate worth $5 million. He was 84 years old, and he never faced any charges for his wife's disappearance. In his will, Robert wrote that Joanne had disappeared years ago, and if she was alive or found to be alive, she would inherit nothing. He also disinherited his children. By the time of his death, he had been estranged from them for years. In December of 2009, his sons filed a wrongful death suit against his estate, alleging he had caused their mother's death. They were awarded $100,000 in damages. For years after her disappearance, there were rumors that Joanne's body was buried beneath a barn on a farm in Kent Valley along the Green River, on a property that the Hansen family had once owned. The barn had originally had a dirt floor, but Robert had covered it in concrete around the time of her disappearance. The building has since been demolished, and a road now runs through it where it was. But in 2006, her sons requested that investigators examine the road with ground-penetrating radar. No evidence was located that something was underneath there, so Joanne's case still remains unsolved. What do you think happened to her? Do you think Robert is innocent, or do you think he had something to do with it?
No, he did that shit.
I mean, there's no.
That was
it seems
definitely
pretty
him.
close to something. Yeah.
That's insane, man. That's like horror movie material, like the original, but like the actual. He's in the base, but he's coming. Is like, I thought she was with you.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
I don't see why that lady didn't call 911. If someone had said that to me, and I would have called back maybe once or twice, not enough to where I got someone to answer, but I would call like back, okay, and then call 911. Especially back then, even before as connected as we are now still. But I don't see why you wouldn't call 911 right away.
Yeah, definitely. That is a little weird, but man, and the fact that like he just cemented the entire floor, like out of nowhere, kind of suspicious.
Yeah. Also, if he was the one doing this, do you think he just killed her and waited the appropriate time till he finally answered the phone? He's like, who the fuck just keeps calling?
Yeah. Oh man, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's super sad. Just like, if he had all that money, he probably could have just made her disappear.
Yeah.
Maybe the concrete floor was just a red herring. Just trying to throw people off.
I mean, this is a real small case that people don't really talk about. I just found it, Googling it. I just thought it was really out there, the connection that it had with the Green River Killer, possibly that police thought there was something so wrong with the husband that they thought he might have been a serial killer in the area. Like, that's how off he seemed, but they couldn't pin anything on him. So, Joanne did have some issues. So here's some other things against why maybe it was her husband. She did have issues. Her first marriage was with a man she had gone to school with, and she had 2 children by him. Her first marriage ended in divorce after the couple's daughter died of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, and so Joanne had an affair with another man and left her husband. During this period, she was eventually hospitalized briefly for emotional problems caused by all the stress in life, but I mean, something like that, losing a kid, could do that. And then Robert also had his share of issues. He had severely beat Joanne's oldest son when he was about 6 years old, injuring the child so badly that he couldn't walk afterwards. He also was physically abusive to Joanne on a regular basis, even while she was pregnant, and the couple's children were afraid of him. Robert refused to let the children talk to any of their relatives so that they couldn't talk or tell anything about what was going on in their household. And their relatives didn't even know about their oldest son, that he couldn't walk from him beating them so much. So in May of 1962, Joanne filed for divorce. Her and her husband fought bitterly over the divorce for the $300,000 estate. And on August 8th, Joanne got a restraining order against him. The order required him to vacate the family's home so that Joanne could move back in. But then 2 days later, that's when she disappeared, and Robert reported her missing on August 15th. despite the phone call. So it is definitely family motivated. So you think it was definitely the husband?
Yeah, I mean it happened 2 days after,
Yeah.
and the guy, like, she was on the phone and said he's in the basement, he's coming, which I doubt she had two conflicts. It was someone she knew,
Yeah.
and it was coming in the house. So I mean, who else? I can't imagine she had two people she was scared of at one point. So I figure it was him. He was probably trying to get revenge. He found a way into the basement. Maybe he had a key still from the divorce, and he definitely did something to her. That's my guess.
How, how did she know it was him before when he was in the basement? Was he like, I'm gonna kill a bitch? Like, you're gonna get a restraining order on me? I'll show you. Like, was he hollering? Like, what?
I
Because
don't
I mean,
know.
or did she just assume it was him when she heard something?
I assume maybe she had maybe she saw him at the bottom of the steps coming up.
Oh, that's even creepier, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my mind. It's like, I see him.
Okay.
He's coming. He's in the basement. He's
Yeah.
coming. Like, that's terrifying.
The fact that she was only someone heard that.
Yeah, like I'm getting
Yeah.
chill bumps just thinking about it. Like, it's horrible. But that would be my guess. So I definitely think he did it. It sucks that he died before he got charged. Well, they really never had any evidence anyway. So
I still don't get how he got rid of that, like how he successfully pulled it off. Because I mean, it's not like it happened in the 60s or 70s. Well, maybe it did happen in. Hold on.
Mama Pink said, "Oh yeah, he guilty."
Yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised that they couldn't do something, couldn't pin it on him in some way. Just the whole
Trench.
like pattern of abuse and everything.
Trench said, "Dig him up and put him on the stand."
Exactly.
God, that sucks though. Like, and even with the jinx I was talking about earlier, like he died after being in jail for like a couple months. So it's like he lived his whole life basically free. It's just no justice. No, it sucks. Sassy's so violent.
I know. I don't know what's bothering her so much because she literally did everything like she's supposed to, so she should in theory be fine. And she even had a bath last night, so she's doing really good. But she's just uppity. I think part of it is she wants to run around. She really wants to go on a walk. She's not supposed to be moving as much as she is, because she's supposed to get like X-rays in May 1st. I think was when we're supposed to do the final X-rays to see if she's completely healed. But she's trying to do everything she's not supposed to do. She went up 5 steps last weekend when she's not supposed to do that. She just gets into everything. So
Trench said Sassy likes Twitch. That's the whole problem. She's over YouTube, man.
yeah. So
That's good. I'm glad she's getting better though.
yeah, I mean we had her in the bed for the first time yesterday. We took a nap. So after the funeral, and she did good for that. But other than that, she's still been sleeping on the floor. So well, she's getting there.
You're a good dog owner, man. A lot of people still I know, especially the older generation, but like there's still people today. It's like if a dog breaks its legs, they're like, well, I guess I'll go put him out back and take care of it. Old Yeller,
We had one vet basically tell us we should do that. Like it's because like it's gonna cost so much money. Is it gonna even be worth it? But all the other vets we talked to say it's a normal break for her breed. Like it happens, we can get it fixed, and she's not gonna have any pain throughout her life. It's just getting her over the hump, basically the hump. And the problem we had was getting a place that could do everything for her right away, because like she wasn't in life-threatening condition, and so many vets are still backed up with COVID and like staff shortages that nowhere would see her once they determined she wasn't like in life-threatening condition. So she's doing good, and I mean I've had people tell me I was crazy for keeping her up, but none of the
No.
vets except for one, I don't know, was kind of like, you don't want to spend this kind of money on a dog. I'm like,
bullshit.
"What?"
It's like you're a veterinarian, dude. Like you're supposed to love animals. Why would you say that? Like
Yeah.
that's terrible to think about. Thank God for second opinions, because the person that went to that doctor first might not have realized that it was not as serious as they thought it was.
And then the price that they quoted us, like we were like, oh, that's fine, whatever. The vet that ended up doing it and fit her in and everything, and did it within 2 days instead of 2 weeks, like a lot of stuff wanted to do. Like it was half the cost of what they were saying. So I mean, it was literally them freaking out over nothing. So I don't know. But at the same time, they were set. Whoever was on the phone could have been having a bad day, and they want to deal with someone panicking. Because I know Rebecca was calling with Charlie crying in the background. And they probably didn't want to hear about all of our dog getting hurt and stuff. It's whatever. So
Yeah. Well, there's a vet in town that's very blunt like that. I don't know if that's who you went to, but he just is very like, oh, this dog's not going to live. Sorry about it. Like, he doesn't sugarcoat anything.
No, this one wasn't one around town. This was when we were trying to find like, basically once they told us, because she had to have surgery, but the surgery, like, everyone said it was good except for that one vet. Like, the problem we were having was, like, so like I said, so many vets were backed up to get her scheduled. So, like, we were trying to find one that would do it soon, because with her being so small and still younger, she was going to start healing before, and she couldn't wait 2 weeks to have surgery, because they basically have to re-break her then. So this one was, I think it was somewhere in North Carolina. Talking about North Carolina so much, I would think it maybe Burlington or something. Burlington's where we got her from, so probably not there. It's probably maybe Winston-Salem that said it. But that was the only one that even gave us anything, because like Rebecca was having them send the X-rays to whatever vet that would do it. Because the problem was, like, she needed us for her size. She needed also a specialist to do it. So, but everything went fine. So she's doing good. So.
Mama
I just don't get why she's
save sassy.
Yeah, she's doing good. I mean, it was very traumatic, so it was just a real freak accident. So never expected. And the problem was, like, when it happened, so she just jumped off the bed. She's only done it like 5 times ever. She just landed weird, and she acted like she barely hurt her paw. And Rebecca called me freaking out that Sassy hurt her paw. So I come home from work. I take her to the vet. The whole time she doesn't really like whimper or yip any, except like when you touch the paw itself. And so when I take her into the vet, she's quiet the entire time, and everyone at the vet thinks I'm overreacting to it. And I'm just like, I'm only here because my wife was worried about it, and she, like, once it happened, she wouldn't put weight on this paw, so we just want to make sure we'll do the X-rays and everything, and they're just literally treating it like I'm exaggerating. So when they come back, they're like, oh no, she didn't break one leg, she broke both of them. Like, what? Also, she needs to have surgery. What? So on both of them. What? So it's just like, what? It's like you guys went from not believing me at all to telling me she has to have surgery on both legs. So,
wow.
But they were very optimistic. That vet was just like, yeah, and we have someone that can do it, but with her size and everything, we think that it'd be better if the person in Charlottesville does it. And that's where we ended up going, with Charlottesville, Virginia, which is like 3 hours away.
Yeah, that's a trip.
But yeah, but it all worked out and it was fine. And it was a little traumatic time. And since then, I've literally slept on the couch next to the dog for the past 6 weeks. So
that's
what
why.
we've been doing. So yeah. Yeah.
How's it going, my best Scorpio MC? He said, dudes, you can't go missing, you're married. I can go missing. I'm still single. Ethan can't go missing. People would ask questions. If I went missing, they'll be like, oh, he's just gone again for 2 years.
Like, we'll just post his favorite meme, going ghost.
Yeah, going
like,
ghost.
What does that mean, dude? What's wrong?
I do that every time. It's just like, just post Danny Phantom disappear for a couple weeks.
Don't do that.
I'm doing it. It's usually during the winter months. I just get really like depressed and I just want to be by myself and like not have any. And also with like a big thing was like Twitter was just really depressing because like everything was like such bad news, and I was just like, I just got to get off the internet for a while and reset. Because like sometimes you can't just hear nothing but bad news and keep going. Like you just got to reset your palate. But I'm here. Making videos makes it hard to have time to get depressed. You just get worried about. You just keep getting worried about. Like, oh, I got to make another one. I got to make another one. I got to make another one.
Now, once you get back into the hang of things, it gets addicting. So
it is, especially after that one yesterday. Like it's like crack, man. It's like, oh, it's. I understand gambling now because like, oh, well, that one hit it. So it's like you can sink thousands of dollars into playing scratching tickets, but that one you hit's gonna be like, okay, it's worth it. I can do it again, and then it'll be a couple more months before you hit it again. But just gotta keep on doing it. Hope for the best, because one video, even if you think it's bad, could end up being the video that gets you out there. So fingers crossed. Jackie Chan's got something going for. A lot of people like Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't even thought of that show in so long. And I'm subscribed to a lot of like nostalgia channels, and none of them had mentioned it. So I think you really discovered a thing that hadn't really been touched on. So that's why I said you should make a full video on it.
Yeah, I definitely want to, because like there's a lot of topics that I think everyone remembers, but it turns out they don't. And like my sister doesn't remember jack shit. She's like, "Oh my god, do you remember Dexter's Lab?" It's like, "Yeah, Brittany, I think about it a lot." And but like some people, they actually grew up and they stopped watching cartoons when they were younger. Like I didn't, because like that sounds lame. But like people don't remember like this Donkey Kong cartoon that's about to come out. I swear, I don't think very many people will remember that at all, because it's so. Do you remember it?
I remember it once you talked about, but it's something I hadn't thought about in so long. Someone who's like Brittany, like Michael, he's the same way. He does not like. I'll talk to him, try to talk to him about an old cartoon or TV show or an episode that I really thought most people would remember from a TV show. Doesn't remember at all. Then he blames on he had a rough child. He says, "Nah, dude, I just stopped watching cartoons." I'm like, "What do you mean? I watched that until I was like 14. Stop making me think I'm weird."
Yeah. It's like the same thing with Pokemon. Like I never stopped playing Pokemon. It's just my thing. Like do what makes you happy. Doesn't matter how old you are. But yeah, like Kablam, I think that was a really like it was so early in our childhood, a lot of people forgot about it. So I had fun making that one. But yeah, so if you guys want to check out that, it's on my channel, but I'm not trying to plug us too much. But it did just hit 200 subs, so stock's on the rise.
Yeah. I get it while it's hot. You could say you got there before you even had 500 subs. You could be there.
That could be you. I'll give you a t-shirt. If you're before 500 subs, I'll give you a t-shirt saying I got here before 500 subs. That way when you're at 501, you can wear that shit proud. It's going to be a couple of years, but it'll pay off eventually. The dog is not lonely. Hope the couch is comfy. I'm sure it is. They have a comfy couch.
Literally not noticed. I've only really missed it like with Rebecca with stuff going on. Like talk about like going to a funeral yesterday. I would have much rather just been sleeping with Rebecca beforehand instead of like on the couch. So getting extra cuddles, but it's fine. Funeral stuff is just so sad. I hate funerals. So.
Oh, hey Jamie, I didn't see you there. My bad. She said I'd ask questions if you went missing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. No one else will.
You can't go missing, man. You gotta keep posting these shorts. You got people on the hook now.
I gotta give you content. That's what you're gonna talk about the live stream after I go missing and be like, have you heard about the guy that was on YouTube and went missing? There's all these clips about him talking about going missing and he went missing. What do you think happened to him?
I literally saw a video come up in my recommended that said 50 YouTubers that have died in the past 10 years. I'm like, who makes this list and why is this a thing? Didn't click on the video. Haven't seen it since, but it's a video on YouTube. So don't become a part of the top 100, dude.
Your face is on the thumbnail. It's like, what? It's like, I haven't uploaded in 2 weeks and that's what happened? Oh, man. That's crazy, though. Like, I remember we used to talk about, it's like, how sad it would be if we had someone that followed us on YouTube disappear. And we've had several. Like, not disappear, but like pass away. And like we've had several now, and it sucks. Like you meet so many people, and like it's really tragic sometimes, especially when you cover this kind of content, because people that listen to this content typically are a little bit more depressed anyway, or at least into creepy things. But so yeah, everyone cheer up, be happy. That got dark.
Yeah, but I think I like posting this stuff though. And the community around it's great. Like, it is crazy. I've seen smaller channels where they've talked about, where I've watched a video where there'd be under 1,000 people and they'll have like one of their biggest subscribers pass away. And I'm just like, you just meet people you never would have met any other way. Yeah. And there is like community there. And the fact that the people that are still watching this right now, we literally took a 2-year break. Thank you guys for just hanging out with us right now.
Yeah, it's insane. We really appreciate it. Like, it really makes us happy seeing people actually coming back, because we thought when we came back it was just going to be like a dead channel. So it's really cool to see you guys hanging out and still watching stuff. Because I just got like burnt out for a while. Because it's just like we were putting out content and I would spend a lot of time on a video, which now I'd probably be a little bit quicker because I've gotten some more like practice. But when you put hours and hours into a video and then people don't respond to it, you're just kind of, it's like, well, is it worth doing again? So the more people interact with it, it's like those stories where it's like, you have to clap to keep the fairies alive. Clap faster, kids. It's like, you have to do that for us. Like, just like the videos, comment and let us know you liked it. Otherwise we'll lose our motivation. But you guys have been killing it. Like, you guys are really the reason that we do this. So we want to thank you guys for that.
Yeah, just like hanging out too, just having fun. Oh, well, talking about just hanging out and stuff. When you were a kid, and talking about nostalgia, and I remember this from Scooby-Doo, probably because this is where I probably first heard of them. Did you ever watch the Harlem Globetrotters play, or hear about them, or see them on the Scooby-Doo episode?
I always wanted to see them live. I did see them in the Scooby Doo episode, and like that's probably where I first got infatuated with them because I just like, oh my god, these guys are so cool. But yeah, I definitely remember that episode, and I always wanted to see them. And they've come to town, I think. I just never actually got around to getting tickets, but I
Yeah,
definitely would like to see it.
Yeah, I've never seen them in it, and it's like them, Quicksand, things I thought were going to be more of a big thing when I was an adult, run into.
The
Just haven't
Bermuda
really heard many
Triangle.
people talk. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but I never saw them. I wish I would have. I think that would be pretty cool. I did go to the circus as a kid a lot of times, but never the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah,
So
see, we went to the circus a lot too, and then I got shamed for it when I would reminisce. They'd be like, the circus is terrible. It's like, yeah, but where else am I going to see an elephant jump through a hoop? They don't
yeah,
do
I
that at
never
the zoo.
thought. Yeah, I never thought it was terrible until years later, and I'm like, I guess maybe, but it was fun as a kid.
Yeah, I
I
had a
don't know.
blast. Like that, the zoo. I've always wanted to go to SeaWorld. I still want to go to SeaWorld, even though I saw Blackfish. That's like orcas are my favorite animals, so it's like, where else am I going to see an orca, man? But yeah, the Globetrotters were cool though. I always wanted to see like the Globetrotters versus an actual NBA team, which I've been told they would get destroyed, but I'd like to see them try.
I want to see all the hijinks, man. I'd like to see them try to do that stuff.
Yeah, it's like
Or
LeBron
hell,
James versus the Globetrotters.
I don't see why Netflix doesn't do this. Did you ever watch the Last Dance documentary on Netflix about the Chicago Bulls?
No, I haven't.
You should watch that, man. 90s nostalgia. They should bring back the 90s Chicago Bulls and just have them play the current like Harlem Globetrotters and just let them see who would win. Just have fun. Also,
That's
some things
fair.
about basketball. I just wish there were no fouls because sometimes it can just get so iffy. Like it's just like a game of fouls, and that can be annoying.
Yeah, I just never really got into basketball. Like I like playing basketball. Well, I'm not good at it, but like I like playing it more than watching it because it's just like it's so much back and forth. It's just I don't know. Football gives you time to breathe. You just can be like, all right, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? And any, it could be a 20-minute long possession. It could be a 10-second long possession, depending on how it goes. So football is just always my thing. I don't have enough time to dedicate to another sport.
Yeah, I like football too. And one of the things that really, in sports in general, that really come to like about people that really get into sports and they can tell you everything about it or plays or really drill down into the stats, is that's just a different form of being nerdy. Like
Yeah.
you're equally as nerdy as me about some things when you can tell me this much about a certain sport.
Yeah, because my coworker, he's probably about 40, but he's like anything sports or boxing or anything you want to know, he knows the dates. It's like almost genius level intellect about all that stuff. But he's not someone you would normally consider like a bookworm or anything like that. But he just knows everything about it. You can say any play from any game. He'll be like, yeah, I saw that when I was a kid. This is what
Yeah,
happened. This is what that guy was like. He's like, I've learned so much about Michael Jordan just by talking to him. It's insane. Like that Kobe Bryant. Just I've watched so many dunk contests, which those are pretty fun. But yeah, it's cool. Like everyone has their own thing. Some people think it's nerdy. Some people think, you know, as long as you're passionate about something, it shouldn't matter. Like if it makes you happy, indulge. Fuck what other people think about it. Because some people think that what
yeah.
we talk about is stupid because some people don't believe in it. A lot of people, I mean, I'm still skeptical sometimes, aside from the time we went to the ship. But like, it's fun to talk about regardless. So,
Oh, bringing it. All right. Speaking of the ship, because I think it was on the haunted house post I made. Someone coming. So, reflecting on the time on the ship, are you still convinced that was something real, or has time made you think like you haven't had anything happen since then? Do you question it? Like, what's your thoughts on the paranormal since then and the time that's passed?
like you said, it's like when it first happened, I was convinced paranormal, like, stuff was real. But
Yeah.
as it goes on, I'm like, well, maybe it could have been something else. Maybe it could have been something else. And it's starting to make me think, it's like, how many other things have I brushed off like this? That like in the moment, I was like, this is unexplainable. And then later I was like, well, maybe it was something else. Maybe I'm just thinking weird. So like right now, I want to go back because I want to like put my theories to the test and see if, things are still happening. But at the same time, like time has made me wonder, is like, well, maybe it's not real because I haven't had anything really creepy happen to me since then. It's like, well, at home, like, little things were happening, but like that could have been paranoia. So I don't know. I really want to go back though, and I want to do that Airbnb thing.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. The one I really just thought that because I forget what exactly they said on that post, but it really made me think just from the footage of that, where it's literally the shadow, almost the shadow figure that walks in the opposite direction, moving against the camera, and the way the light and everything should be going. It was the opposite where we broke it down really slow. Like I was thinking about what they said, and like I hadn't thought about that in a few months, and I don't really have regular paranormal things happen to me. So I mean, is that real, or did it just catch up in the moment of getting excited about that? But when you look at that, I mean, that's clearly something. But did
Yeah,
it really I mean, I
because
don't
when we were
know.
looking at the footage, I was like freaking the hell out. I was like, Ethan, look at this.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Like, it didn't get any attention hardly. Like that, I thought that was going to be the biggest video we ever put out, and it was like it got like 300 views. I was like, it's good enough to go on national TV,
I was
but
gonna
it's
say, it got you on the Travel Channel, man. It
yeah,
did get somewhere at least. That's more. I mean, that's still good. So,
yeah, it got me on the Travel Channel, but didn't get any views on YouTube. So
you never know. I think it got on the Travel Channel from Sir Spooks. I think some Travel Channel producers watch Sir Spooks' content. So
yeah, Sir Spooks is really cool. I like him a lot. Trench said mod check. Wait, oh, you
what?
want me to make Jamie a mod? I'll make her one after this if you want, because I know she complained last time I did it because he gave her so many pop-ups. Or maybe that was on Twitch. I don't know. He said no. I don't know. I'm lost. Streamer brain. Oh, block Maria. Oh, okay. Let's see. Stop
What did
modding
they
me.
say? Let's see.
I don't know. They said Maria's saying something.
Oh, I don't want the chat. Hold on.
Give me a second. I'll figure it out.
It hasn't crashed yet, so knock on wood so far. Maybe not having it up has helped.
It'll crash right when we're at the end
Yeah, I
of
know.
it. Let's see here. Do.
I was gonna get a new computer, but I'm waiting for like Windows 11 and stuff to be completely a thing. So, because the stuff I was reading said you should still wait a little bit. So I don't know.
Okay, that took care of it.
Oh, nice. You laid down the hammer, laid down the law.
That's probably the first time I've had to use that, and I made Trenge and Jamie mods anyway, even though Jamie said not to. You don't have to. She said she's at work, so I know you don't have time to do it now, but in the future you have the
Yeah,
ability
just in
to do
case
that.
sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
We trust you.
Okay, so Mom Pink said paranormal is just a thinness in the veil between parallel universes. It very well could be. That's a popular theory that it's just us interacting with dimensions we can't physically touch and see.
Or
But,
stuff I really went on a deep dive, and I almost tried to write some of this down for like a video or something. IDAs is that if it's not like between a bridge between like parallel universes, that maybe if we are living in a simulation, like Elon Musk and a lot of people claim, like a Matrix,
yeah,
that it's glitches in it. That's the reason why we sleep and we only interact with a certain number of people, is to like slow down like the processing power for it, and certain glitches in like physics and astronomy and stuff can be explained by like, oh, it's a simulation, not all of it's complete to be there. That's the reason why like space has a pretty much like a observable space right now. We don't know what's really further out there because there's not really anything else there. There's just a lot of people and the real argument for simulation is if a technology reached to the point where they could have a simulated universe like a video game or anything, then the odds that you're living in a simulation is exponential, because then if a simulated universe is possible, then you could be just one of thousands of simulations that are being run at the same time. So you're more likely to be living in a simulation than real life. So I don't know. Makes you question.
And the simulation, it's actually controlled by something basically like your laptop. So if we do too much on it, it'll just crash and we'll all die.
Yeah. So Ukraine and Russia need to simmer down a little bit.
Yeah. Also,
Just in case.
SSRI said, good to see you guys back. It's been a long time. It has been a long time. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah,
Thanks for hanging out.
And we're trying to do more. So trying to do stuff every week. So just keep hanging out, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It's good to see everybody. But yeah, like last night we were having a conversation that got kind of interesting. I was intoxicated, just to throw that out there before I start talking about it, because it's kind of weird. But we got on the topic of the islands around the Earth that are still like, that were never touched, basically. So there's still like tribes living there that will kill you if you visit them. And I was thinking, what if Earth is like its own, like, what if aliens are actually humans that are so much more technologically advanced, they just left us behind because we were like savages to each other, and we're so busy killing each other that they're like, oh, we'll just leave them to their own. Don't visit them; they'll kill you. And it's like, maybe because we think like if you're on that island and you saw someone show up with headphones and my glasses or something like that, or just all this technology, you'd be like, these guys are aliens. We also look different, so makes you wonder. Did you just freeze, Ethan? Ethan, are you fucking serious? Ethan froze. Oh my god. There you are. You're back. Are you still there? Can you hear me? Are you alive, Ethan? We can see you, but cannot hear you. Okay. Well, I'm going to give him a second to figure things out. We're going to have to get Ethan a new laptop. All right, so just keep looking at the screen, Ethan. I'll finish things up until you get back. So let me find out. I think we had one more story left to talk about. He's taking a picture to send it to me on Discord, I'm sure. Ethan has also left us behind. I told you, it's at the end of the stream every time. So, let's see. I'll go ahead and tell this story. So Rico Harris was once a promising basketball star. In his days at a Los Angeles community college in Cal State, Northridge in the 1990s, he was eyed by the NBA, even considered a possible first-round draft pick. But substance abuse problems kept him from going pro. He eventually played for the Harlem Globetrotters briefly in 2000 before a head injury left him unable to play. It appears Harris kicked his drug and alcohol problem in 2007 and gotten his life back on track by having a good relationship with his girlfriend and family. On October 10, 2014, while Harris was driving from his mother's house in Alhambra, California, back to Seattle, after a brief trip, he called his girlfriend and left a message that he'd made it to Sacramento and was planning to take a quick nap before resuming the drive. Then around 11:15 a.m., he lost his cell phone reception, and his message was the last anyone ever heard from him. 3 days later, his car was discovered in a remote parking lot in the mountains of Yolo County, about 60 miles north of Sacramento. And while there have been rumors of sightings in the years since, none have been confirmed. So what happened to this former basketball player, and could Rico Harris ever be found? So that was in 2014. Been a while. It's unlikely. I don't know if he tried to just disappear, start a new life, or if he was killed. I mean, is that a promising basketball star? And it could have had a lot of eyes on him. Who knows? Ethan has slipped into another universe. That's what happened. He's pulling one of the highest dunks of all time. He's pulling off one of the highest dunks of all time. Oh, he disappeared. Dang it. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. Let's see here. Well, it's become a tradition. It's kind of like when you're at an award show and they start playing the music and they're like, all right, guys, it's getting time to go. Ethan his computer crashes when it's time to end the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Let me make sure he didn't have anything else to talk about. I don't think he did. I think that was it. He said that Harris was so tall that his build would be hard for him to just completely disappear without being recognized somewhere. So something terrible must have happened to him. I think I can come back. Okay, well, we can wait. I will gladly hold the stream until you do. Let me get it pulled up for him. I'll let you know when he comes back. So yeah, until Ethan comes back, do you guys know of any disappearances or anything weird that you'd want to talk about? Give me something to fill the conversation with. If you want, it's acting like it's coming back. Yeah, man, go for it. It'd be cool to end a stream with both of us. That'd be weird. But yeah, hope you guys have had a good weekend so far. There's Navi, if you could see her. She doesn't have a cone on her head. Come here, Navs. Come here. I don't get to show her on stream too much. She's grunting. I don't know why this keeps happening. It was fine. I don't know, man. It makes me think that it's not just like, I mean, you only had that one process going, so it shouldn't be overloading your computer. There was an electric worker who disappeared in Santa Rosa, California just a couple years ago. That's weird. They don't know what happened to him. There's a show called Disappeared that Ryan watches a lot. It's pretty wild. I'll have to take a look at that. That sounds pretty cool. I need to watch some more documentaries because like every time I watch a like unsolved mystery documentary or anything like that, I always like it. I just have trouble. Like if I don't know something's going to be good before I watch it, I don't usually take a chance on it. Because like Don't Fuck with Cats, that was recommended to me. I really like that. What is it? Abducted in Plain Sight. That was really good. I like that a lot. Nope, they don't remember. That's crazy. But yeah, I need to find some new ones. I know they were talking about something the other night that I couldn't remember. I know I hadn't seen it. It was like The Diaries or something. I think she was talking to Rebecca about it. But I'll have to check that out. All right, Ethan. What's going on, bruh? Let me see if I can give him a call back. Maybe that'll work. Oh, is it connecting? It's crazy how many people just vanish. Yeah, and people are so busy. It just kind of happens and they forget about it. But humans, like, I think we have a... There's Ethan. Let me put this back on. Can you hear me, Ethan? Can't hear you yet. Hello. You're very blurry. And he's gone. Has he come back? There you are. I can't hear you. Can you hear us? Okay, Ethan. Well, if you can hear me, we're going to wave goodbye to everybody. So, so just mime along with what I'm saying. But, yeah. So we appreciate you guys watching. We're going to keep doing this every other week. Be sure to keep an eye on the post. Ethan has been killing it with the shorts twice a week. So we're putting up twice a week shorts, and he's been putting up videos like every other week or every week. Correct me if I'm wrong in silence. Just mime it out. But keep an eye out for that. So, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us out a lot. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Ethan posts stuff there too. And if you want to follow me on my channel, Retrograde, it's somewhere. It might be in the description or something. But subscribe to that too. It helps us out a lot. So, oh, he's gone again. Well, nope, he's back. He keeps faking us out. So, I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and we will catch you guys next time. So, until then, stay strange. Bye, guys.